It's time for a Chat Sports Challenge. On Friday's show, we gained 57 subscribers. I think we can beat it. I'm not satisfied with 57. I want at least 60. Prove to me that you guys can come through. Hit the sub button. What's good? Welcome into the Bengals Breakdown. I am Abby Alonzo, and we are going to talk some tight ends. It is a need. It is no question. You just got Irv Smith. You still need some more help. Who are you going to grab? Hopefully somebody in the draft. The Bengals have already met with Dalton Kincaid, Michael Mayer, Sam Laporta. These are higher round guys. These are guys that will probably go earlier in the days of the draft, which is just about 3 weeks away. Get excited. But another guy that could be grabbed, apparently, according to recent mock drafts, maybe Darnell Washington gets taken at number 28. Not bad. I think that's a good pick. Again, this is one of the top tight ends in the draft, and this is a deep tight end class, which is good for the Bengals, knowing that one of their most prominent needs is a tight end. So you've got plenty of options. Geoff Hobson, who is a writer for Bengals.com, said this about Darnell Washington, but the imposing 6'7", 265-pound Washington has a lot of things the Bengals have chosen in Duke Tobin's draft room during the Roaring 20s. He's big. Some publications think he could eventually play tackle. He's athletic. He played high school basketball in Las Vegas and is fast with a 4.6 40-yard dash. They also love players from winning programs, and Washington has won more national titles than Burrow, Higgins, and Ja'Marr Chase. Go Tigers. And production, yes, just 45 catches, but he got them in 27 games for 17.2 yards per catch. So yeah, these stats, pretty good for a tight end, especially a tight end that would be pairing up with Joe Burrow. Come on. 28 receptions, 454 yards, an average of 16.2 yards per catch. That's huge. That is a lot of production. And 2 touchdowns. This is a good move if it's made. Again, deep tight end draft class here. But should the Bengals draft tight end Darnell Washington? Head down to the comment section. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Again, don't be afraid to let me know why you think what you think. I love to read what you guys say. I read the comments and I love the feedback. I want to know where you stand. Type Y for yes, they should draft Darnell Washington. Type N for no. But what if the Bengals draft a cornerback or a running back instead of a tight end in the first round? Because that is a possibility. We know these drafts get out of hand and they make the picks that you really just don't understand or you weren't expecting, or it's a surprise, whatever. They might not go after a tight end with that pick number 28. They may go after a running back, Jahmyr Gibbs. They may go after a corner. You don't know. So what if that happens? Because Darnell Washington and the guys I just mentioned that had met with the Bengals are front runners. They are first or early round picks. Well, here are some late round tight end targets that the Bengals could go out and get. Look, Josh Wiley out of Cincinnati. He's a hometown boy, which we know the Bengals love. I mean, your poster child is Joe Burrow. Come on. It's a great story. It sells. He had 88 receptions, 1,062 yards, and 15 touchdowns in his career. Pretty solid. He would love to play in Cincinnati. Came out and said that to the media. Of course, who wouldn't? It's your hometown. You want to play for your hometown team you probably grew up rooting for. Another guy that they could grab later in the rounds would be Johnny Lumpkin out of UL, Raging Cajuns. He's actually got an upcoming visit with the Bengals as well as the Colts. So, I mean, it's good news that he's meeting. It shows interest on both ends. With the Bengals, again, 6'6", 268 pounds from Atlanta. The past season, 16 receptions, 143 yards, 4 touchdowns, 28 was his longest run. This, not great stats, 143 yards. Didn't get as much opportunity, but again, not a bad pick. Has the skill level there. And finally, the third late round pick I want to bring up is Dakota Allen out of Eastern Kentucky. This guy benched 25 reps at his pro day, which would have been first among tight ends at the combine. So he's relatively strong, I would say. He is recovering from an ACL surgery, but he's recovering well. He's been cleared to do physical activity and kind of get back into the swing of things again. So that's promising. We know that ACL injuries can be serious, but as we've seen with Joe Burrow himself, sometimes you just come back better. So I don't think that's too much of a concern with Dakota Allen, but I did have to let you know about his little bit of injury history. He has been invited to the Bengals local prospect day. Again, promising there is interest there. So those three guys, if you're not going to grab a tight end with that number 28 pick in the first round, then you do have options later on in those later rounds. Like I said, deep tight end draft class. You've got options. But just for the fun of it, if you had to pick out of these three guys, who are you grabbing? If you're grabbing Josh Wiley, type JW. If you're grabbing Johnny Lumpkin, type JL. And if you want Dakota Allen, type DA. Again, litter that comment section with all of your thoughts. I love hearing from y'all. We appreciate you watching, and we will have more Bengals content coming at you soon.